Hello, my name is Johnny Jones, and I'm here interviewing Pac Avin as segment one of the preview for the Beverly Duxbury game to go to the state championship. How are you doing today, Pat?
I'm doing great. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, this is a big game coming up in the Final Four. Duxbury, the winner of the South, Beverly, the winner of the North. What are your first takes on the game?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. Big stage, big stadium at Lowell. But our team put a lot of preparation in this game. Coach has been focused. All my teammates have been focused. It's been really good so far this whole week.
Yeah, Colley Stadium in Lowell is a hell of a place to play. It's going to be a great setting for a big showdown. What are your first take on Duxbury? How are they looking?
Duxbury, they're a very proven team, obviously one of the last undefeated teams in the state, putting up more than 40 points each game, but I feel like coming in as underdogs, we really have a shot at winning this game.
Yeah, no, you can't say enough about this team. You know, Bobby Mamrod at quarterback is a very shifty guy, very, very athletic. Well, what's your take on him? How do you think he plays?
With a player like Bobby, you really have to contain him. You got to make sure that he doesn't collapse from the pocket. Really keep him where he is and try to get a lot of pressure on him. And me as a DN, that's really one of my big jobs this week on defense. So it needs to go accordingly.
Yeah, I know. I know a big thing coaches stressed all year is you can't let one guy beat you. You got to let the whole team kind of come together and beat you. You can't let one guy have a day against you guys. And, you know, Bobby's great, but, you know, he really takes advantage of his wide receiving core. He's got Ryan Regan, the Harvard commit, out wide at number one. He's been doing good. Have you watched any film on him?
Yeah, I've been watching actually a lot of film on them, really studying up on them. And he's a really great receiver, and obviously he's going to Harvard for a good reason. So I feel like if our DBs and our safeties do the right job and stay in coverage, I feel like we can really put some damage on this game with him.
Yeah, let's talk a little about you now. You've had a great season. You know, you play on D end and then you play on the O line. What's your favorite place to play, D end or O line?
Definitely defensive end. Really kind of getting crazy out there. Really using my hands, using my quickness, my finesse. That's really my go-to right there. So I'd rather let loose there, but instead of playing discipline on offensive line. Yeah,
no, you definitely wreak havoc in first couple games of the season. You're playing like a man possessed. You get to the quarterback better, as good as anybody in the NEC, and we've really taken advantage of that. But it's going to be tough. You know, Duxbury has a okay O-line, not the biggest, but they're quick. Do you think you and a couple of the other guys, like Justin Quintel, Paul Feist, do you think you'll be able to get to him, like Jake Viel, them? Do you think you'll be able to get to Bobby?
Yeah, I really think we can. I mean, we have a really strong other DN. Clayton McAlpine really gets to the quarterback, uses his brute strength with that. Same with Jake Viel at nose guard. I feel like us three can really put some really good bull rushes on on their offensive linemen, really set up the quarterback to throw some picks or even make some dumb decisions. And I feel like we have the capability of really doing that this week.
You know, you came out and fired the first couple games of the season, and then you had a tough injury in Marblehead. What's the season as a whole been like for you?
Well, the first 4 games were really nothing but great. I loved it, off to a great start. And then the Marblehead game, I just got that shoulder injury that really set back me a little bit, and I wasn't really expecting to be out my senior year. I've never really been injured before. But with this, I've really learned to take advantage of every practice matters, every game matters, kind of don't take as much for granted. But now that I got back for the Billerica game and I got playing time in that, I'm really getting back into the rhythm of the game. And the injury has been holding up for me, so I'm really back and healthy now.
Yeah, it's been great to see you back on the field. You know, you provide a lot of athleticism on the D-line for us, and it's going to be great to see what we can do against Duxbury. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Johnny Jones.
We're here for the second part of the Duxbury-Beverly preview. How are you doing today, Billy?
Johnny, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
No problem, anytime. What is your take on Duxbury? How are they looking?
Duxbury is a very good team with some very good athletes, but I think throughout the week we've seen some things that we can take advantage of, whether it be special teams, defense, or offense. We've seen some things that we can take advantage of as a team, and hopefully we'll be successful.
Yeah, you play slot and corner, but a big part of your position on the team, special teams. You're one of the best guys out there, first guys down, kind of like a young Matthew Slater. Do you think special teams will be a big role this game?
Yes, very much so. I do try to do that, but especially I think on kickoff, we held Billerica in the previous game I think on a lot of kickoffs we held them pretty far. So we had great field advantage defensively, and as the game went on in the second half, that clearly helped us because we had a big comeback, and it couldn't be done without our special teams.
Yeah, and Coach Morency stresses a lot. A big part of the game is field position. If you can pin a team down deep, that's can be a very big advantage for you guys, and that's going to play a big role this weekend. Duxbury's defense comes in the game as not the biggest, but very athletic. Do you think our offense will be able to take advantage of that?
Certainly. They aren't the biggest, but they are extremely athletic, and that can be something that scares you. But with our offense, the way it's been clicking lately, I think with the plays Coach Morency puts in throughout the week, I think we can take advantage of some of the weaknesses on their defense.
Yeah, and last couple of games against Billerica, Duxbury, certainly they've been very slugfest. A lot of rushing yards for both teams. But this week, Duxbury comes in from the south with a huge passing attack with Bobby Mamrod at quarterback and Ryan Regan at wide receiver, and they've got some other great athletes out there. You being a cornerback, how are you going to come into this game? How are you looking at this?
I think our biggest thing as defensive backs, me and my teammates especially, are to stay in coverage even when Bobby goes out of the pocket. Biggest thing is to stay in coverage because we've seen films where he's scrambled and he's found his wideouts to be wide open because corners and safeties were looking at the quarterback, and so then they're stuck there and their wide receivers are wide open, and we can't do that. We have to stay in coverage this week.
Yeah, definitely. Bobby's been known to just extend plays with his feet, and that's kind of been his bread and butter this year. And although their passing attack is one of the best in the state, what do you think about their rushing attack?
They have a pretty good running back, but I think with our linebackers on the inside with Hugh and Nick, that we can control that aspect of the game, and then that will help control the passing aspect.
This year, Beverly's been tested a lot. New coach, new system. Do you think the team's adapted well to it?
The team has adapted well. This year especially, I think we're a lot of kids that simply enjoy being with each other. Every day at practice, on the field, off the field. We're kids that really like each other, and I think that's why we've mended so well.
Yeah, I know. I think also that that's a huge part of the success. Having a core group of kids that like to be around each other, that just makes playing the games just so much easier. And I think that has been one of the biggest factors to this success. Do you think when comparing teams like Duxbury, Billerica, Duxbury, what do you think the biggest what do you think the biggest advantage Beverly has on teams like big name teams would like to have the 1 and 2 seeds? Like being the underdogs, what do you think the biggest advantage Beverly has?
The biggest advantage is being the underdog. The fact that sometimes we might just be slept on, or even having an 18-point deficit at the half. Maybe Billerica laid off the gas a little bit in the second half, and maybe we just took advantage of that. And being the underdog, it takes a lot more hard work than those teams did because they come in as the 1 seed, they come in as the 2 seed, and they're expecting nothing but a win. And at halftime, I'm sure that's what Billerica was thinking was, we're up 18, we're going to ride this till the end, and we had other plans in mind, and we stopped them on defense for the rest of the game.
Well, Billy, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you so much.
Once again, I'm Johnny Jones, and this is part 3 of the Beverly Duxbury preview. I'm here with Luke Samperi. How you doing today, Luke?
Good. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing fantastic. Duxbury coming in 10-0. They've kind of slapped around the South Shore in their division. What's your take on the team?
Obviously, they're a good team. They're 10-0, and they play a pretty good schedule, and they play fast, and they play hard, and that's just something we need to counter this week. But, I think we're in a good spot where we can definitely take it to them and exploit certain weaknesses that they have.
You've been a huge factor in the team this year, first year of football, but you've came alive in special teams. What has been your, what's your favorite part about being a field goal kicker?
Favorite part is just I like the responsibility. It's my job to kick, and in that whether that's punting, extra points, or kickoffs and stuff like that. It's my job, and I got to go out there and do it. And obviously, it's so much fun to be a part of. So it's been really great for me.
Last couple of games, especially Billerica, the special teams have come alive, and they've been a huge factor. How important do you think kickoff and punt? How important do you think those special teams are?
Well, this week it's going to be huge for us. They have a bunch of quick kids on their return where we can see that they could present a problem to us, but we just need to keep the ball away from them and make sure our wide guys get down there quick. So we'll try to keep the ball away from their quick receivers and obviously convert any field goals, and extra points are huge too.
Yeah, and definitely you've been very big in pinning them back deep, and the field possession game is so crucial in playoff games. Or make them drive 80 yards is a very tough thing to do in any playoff team. But you're new to football this year. What made you kind of decide to play?
Something that's been in the news a little bit lately is the whole Ohana theme, and I really felt that even before that theme came out. Being around all of my best friends who are also have major roles on the team, that really was intriguing to me, and I'm so glad that I made that decision to come join the boys this year. It's been so much fun for me.
Yeah. So last game, 2 games against Duxbury, game came down to the line. We were down 8-6. What was going through your mind when you had to go out there and kick a field goal to potentially win the game?
I had missed 2 earlier. I missed my first extra point I had missed all year, and I missed a field goal, and it was bad. So I kind of had to refocus myself and just, get my head right, get my head back in it, practice. I did a bunch of kicks on the sideline with my kicking net and stuff like that. And when I went out there, I was like, you know what, I can't miss this one. And just do what you know how to do. Keep your head down, keep your shoulders square, put your body in the right direction, and it went through, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, what usually goes through your mind when you're lining up out there? What's going through?
I try to keep it as simple as possible. Keep your head down, keep your body square. Those are big things for me. And keep your head, don't look at the pass rush. Sometimes when teams try to throw us off by jumping quick, that throws me off a little bit. So I just try to keep my eye on the ball, obviously.
Yeah, well, so you've done a great job at it so far, and you also play safety. What's for a secondary's perspective? What's some of the key things to think about against a passing attack like Duxbury?
We got to keep everyone in front of us. Can't let anyone behind us. Got to stay over the top. Things that we've heard all week. I think they have some very big, talented guys, but we have the gritty guys that can, they can go toe-to-toe with them, and I believe that, and I think Coach believes that, and us as a team, we believe that we can match up well with this team despite their size. So we'll match up with them well, and we'll be quick enough.
Well, thanks for coming down today,
Of course,
Luke.
yeah, thank you.